it's Amy, and I'm here today to bring you my 2-week Colorado wrap-up and the last 2 weeks of May TBR. Okay, so I had a TBR for when I went to Colorado, and I finished 1 full book. I almost finished 2, and then I didn't get to 1. So the first book that I read and finished when I was in Colorado was Remembered by Tamara Alexander, and I talked a little bit about what I thought about this book the second or third time around, and I did a video called To Reread or Not to Reread, and so I'll put a link down below. Even though I enjoyed it and I still loved Tamara Alexander's writing and the story and the plot, the main character, Veronica, she just bothered me, and I found myself really having a hard time getting through this book. Even though I know the first time I read it, I just flew through it. I enjoyed it, and I still highly recommend Tamara Alexander, and even rereading her stuff is still enjoyable, and I'm gonna continue to reread her stuff throughout this year. It was just an interesting thing that happened to me, is that I just didn't enjoy it as I knew I had enjoyed it the first time. So that was Remembered by Tamara Alexander. And then the second book that I started, and I'm almost finished, I am like 50 pages from finishing it, and that is Crest by Marissa Meyer. This is the 3rd book in the Lunar Chronicles. It is a retelling of the Rapunzel story, and I can't tell you a whole lot about it without spoiling the first 2 books. So the couple things that I can talk about is that, one, I feel like this is not really a story about Crest. It's still a story that's centered completely around Cinder, and so to name a book Crest, you just feel like I was personally expecting to get a lot more of her story and her background, and there really wasn't a whole lot of character development with Crest, and her scenes that she had they were long and there was a lot of them, but there wasn't a whole lot going on in her story, and so it was just kind of annoying. And then I didn't like her as a character. I thought she was annoying and just really childish, and part of that I think has to do with the fact that she's been isolated for her entire life, and she has no people skills. But it's just the things that went through her mind, and it was just annoying. And I don't know, I feel like this series is, I enjoyed Cinder. I really liked Scarlet, even though a lot of people have said they didn't like it. And even though I'm enjoying it, it's just, there have been so many times where I was just like, what? Are you kidding me? Really? No! Ah! I was even on the plane yesterday, and I really wanted to throw it down the aisle because just something that happened. I'm like, oh, so dumb. So I would say that it's still an enjoyable series. I think that as it's been progressed, it's definitely geared more towards like a younger audience, and so I think a 14-year-old girl would definitely, relate to Crest. And me as a 30-year-old woman, I don't really relate to her, and I just really wanted her to be a strong character, and she just wasn't. I have to say, though, that Captain Thorne, oh my goodness, he is Captain Jack from Doctor Who. It's so, I was probably 3 or 4 chapters in, and I was reading him, I'm like, I realized I was picturing Captain Jack, and my cat is getting ready to walk across the camera. Okay, so you're going to have a tail coming into the film. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Peanut. Yeah, so I just think that's awesome. So if you watch Doctor Who, you know who I'm talking about with Captain Jack. And let me know if you've watched Doctor Who and you've read these books, and let me know what you think of my opinion that Captain Thorne is Captain Jack. Not completely, but there's just a lot of it. And I have to say, Captain Thorne is my favorite character. He is really what got me through this book, because he is hysterical and funny and awesome. And there's another character that I really liked, but I can't tell you because that really would spoil the second book for you. So just a secondary character that really has nothing to do with the story but does, and I just really love that character. So that was Crest by Marissa Meyer, the 3rd book in the Lunar Chronicles. And then the 3rd book that was on my TBR for my Colorado adventure week, 2 weeks vacation. anyway, was The Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson, the third book in the Mistborn trilogy, and yes, I still have not even started this book. It took me forever to finish Well of Ascension, the second book in the series, and I'm going to finish this book by the end of May. It's gonna happen. It is going to happen. It's going to happen because I don't want this on my TBR anymore. I want to finish this series because I have enjoyed it, and I am looking forward to seeing where this series continues and where it ends, and yes, I will be happy to be done with this series. Even though I have enjoyed it, it's just been one of those, like, it's been work. It's been a lot of work. So this is the first book that is on my TBR for the rest of May, which is like 2.5 weeks. So I will finish this book. Yes. I will have a wrap-up at the end of this month. This will not be on my June TBR. Can you believe it's almost June? Sorry, I just realized that it's almost June. Crazy, crazy. Okay, Hero of Ages by Brandon Sanderson. And then the next book that is on my TBR, and if you watched my unboxing video that I posted probably earlier, you'll know what book is next, and that is The Heir by Kira Cass, the next book in the selection series, and I'm so excited. So excited. And I'm going to be buddy reading this with Tiffany from The Crafty Home. I'm pretty sure we're still buddy reading it. Tiffany, are we still buddy reading this? Let me know, and I won't start it until I find out which. Oh my goodness, I was going to start this next. Okay, well, I'm not going to. I will wait until Tiffany lets me know. Okay, so that is the next book that's on my list. And that is all the books that I have. I am going to choose one out of my little TBR jar. I'm only going to choose one because I just don't think I'm going to finish any more than one more book than this. And I am tired of having so many books on my TBR that I don't finish. So I'm going to choose one. We'll see if it's physical or if it's from my Nook. If it's from my Nook, I can't show you because my Nook is dead and it's somewhere. Okay, and the one that I have is the Lullaby by Sarah Dessen. Okay, let me grab that. Okay, so the Lullaby by Sarah Dessen, and this one I think is, it's about breakups and love and teenage angst. So it's a novel about a tough-as-nails girl and the boy who's determined to soften her up. Okay, this sounds really great. I will be honest, I chose 2 out of the jar before I got to something that I wanted to read. The first one was Lies of Locke Lamora, which I want to read it, but because I've read about 60 pages of it, and it really does remind me of the Mistborn trilogy. I know it's completely different, but it just feels like it has the same kind of air to it. I need to not read any high fantasy right now. And then the next one I drew was Lord of the Rings, and it's the same thing. I needed something like this that was just a story, standalone, no series, gonna be done with it when I turn the last page, done, voila, Osei. So I'm really excited about reading this one, and yeah, this may actually be the next one I read after I finish Crest. So, okay guys, that is my wrap-up and TBR for the rest of May, and I don't know what else to say except let me know what you're reading down below. I would love to hear any recommendations because I really do need some recommendations because I have felt the last couple weeks that I just need to read something that is fantastic, that's just like mind-blowing, fantastic, that is gripping, that doesn't have a lot of world building, that doesn't have a lot of not happening stuff, and it's just amazing. Amazing. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know down below. And I think that's it. So I will see you guys on the flip side.